Okay, so we are on to Unit 2, Lesson 7, Solving Proportions. So this is a new type of equation that we are going to work on solving today. So a proportion is an equation stating two ratios are equal, two fractions are equal. And proportional reasoning is a really important type of reasoning for a lot of everyday problems. So we're going to work on how to solve these types of equations. So cross products. This is the method that I'm going to show you how to use. You guys may have learned the fish method. If you don't know what the fish method is, don't worry about it. But cross products is what I'm going to show you because this works more universally for solving these types of equations. So cross products is basically when you have a proportion and it's A over B equals C over D, AD and BC. So AD, A times D, and B times C are called cross products. Okay, so the cross products property says cross products are equal. Okay, cross products in a proportion are equal. So I'm going to show you how to solve proportions a couple different ways. Now, I actually am going to want to show you just a single way to try not to confuse you. So what I'm going to show you right off the bat, I'm going to use cross products. Okay? I'm going to use cross products for all four of these examples because I feel like it's a more universal way. So cross product states if I take and I multiply across, so I'd multiply 8 by m to get 8m, that is equal to 7 times 12. And 7 times 12 is 84. So cross products is me multiplying across. So that creates an equation that's fairly easy to solve. Divide by 8 on both sides. So then m is 10.5. So in part B, cross products again, x times 5 is 5x. That is equal to 7 times 4, which is 28. And I divide both sides by 5. So x is 5.6. So cross products, you're multiplying, it creates a cross. You're multiplying across the equation, the equal sign. So again, we're just going to use cross products again. And you'll notice I multiply the variable first. I do the cross product with the variable in it first. So I'm going to do 4 times x is 4x. That is equal to 3 times 8, which is 24. Creates just a one-step equation. Divide both sides by 4. X is 6. Okay, so why don't I pump the brakes here and have you guys try B on your own. Pause the video, work through it, and then check your answer with me when you are finished. Okay, so if you're using those previous examples as kind of a template, I would do it where I'd multiply y by 5, that is 5y, and I would set that equal to 3 times 3, which is 9. Divide both sides by 5, you should get 1.8 is your solution. So these examples are why cross products are kind of the more universal method, because with this, you've got variables on both sides as well. So to write this out, you got to be careful. I am going to multiply b minus 8 times 4. So I'm going to write it like this, 4 parentheses, b minus 8. I'm going to set that equal to 5 times b plus 3. So I've got distribution on both sides. 4 times b, 4 times negative 8 becomes 4b minus 32. 5 times b, 5 times 3. 5b plus 15. So now you decide how you want to solve this equation. You could subtract 4b from both sides. You could subtract 5b from both sides. It really doesn't matter what you choose. I'm going to just try this. Subtract 5b from both sides. Let's do that. 5b's cancel. 4b minus 5b. You can think of it as negative 1b or negative b. Minus 32 equals 15. Moving ahead to solve that, I would add 32 to both sides. Negative 1b equals, 47. 47. So to get done solving this, I would think of dividing these both sides by negative 1. So b is really negative 47. Okay, b is negative 47. So it's important to understand we are not skipping that step of writing the parentheses to distribute. That is essential to solving these equations. So just make sure when you do those cross products, you understand what you're multiplying by. So again, why don't we do this again? Pause the video, try b on your own, and check your answers with me when you are ready. Okay, so to solve this proportion, cross multiplying, n times 6 is 6n, and then I multiply 5 by the quantity 2n plus 4, meaning I distribute 5 times 2n, 5 times 4 to get 10n plus 20. And then I decided to move 10n to the other side by subtracting 10n from both sides. This becomes negative 4n equals 20. I finish that off by dividing by 4. I get n is negative 5. So it is very, very, very important that you show your steps and that you take your time when you're solving these, because that practice of solving these, showing these steps, is going to come in handy later when we have problems that require more steps. So I'm going to have you move on to the next part of this lesson. In the next part of this lesson, you're going to practice some of this solving. You're going to have some notes for the next lesson, 2.8, and you're going to get kind of a condensed version of 2.8, because that just kind of includes some word problems with scale drawings and things like that. So you're going to have kind of 2 lessons in one here. So I'm going to try and cut back on the practice and just make sure that you're kind of understanding that these proportions translate to real life problems. So you can move on to the next step in your lesson.